Hello everyone, I am Alka1993 and welcome to this video where I am announcing the next Pleiades Tournament. If you've been on my channel recently, you have seen various dual videos of the Pleiades Tournament, of tournaments that have already finished. Pleiades Tournaments are tournaments with a very limited card pool, generally 1 to 3 main sets, 1 starter or structure deck, and then 1 or 2 side sets, and then potentially a few, but really a few custom cards created by myself. So none of the broken ones that you might see when you play customs. The next Pleiades tournament is currently open for registration. And I'm going to give you a really quick view of what you can expect in the tournament to maybe get you excited and wanting to join. Now I should note, if you don't necessarily like this card pool, the next card pool might interest you because the card pool is different every tournament. Like at the moment in the Tournament 2 videos, you get Elemental Heroes, you have Vylons, Lavals. There's 2 Lavals possible in this tournament, and the rest of those cards aren't even in this card pool. Alright, let's give you a really quick look. The first set we're playing with, the main set, is Strike of Neos, and the standout things are potentially Neos Mission Grand Mole and the 6 Samurais. Those exist. These reptile things exist, but probably not. Maybe a normal monster strategy with the rituals. There's also counter fairy cards, but there's not that many counter traps in the set, so we'll have to see what we do with that. Photon Shockwave exists, and that includes Rescue Rabbit and the Evil Zars, Lagia and Dolka. The good thing is that there are no level 4 normal dinos. Those aren't in this, but there is a Gene Ward Werewolf and an Alexandrite Dragon in the card pool, so you could still use Rescue Rabbit for that. The only way to consistently bring out Dolka and Lagia is through the Evil archetype, which is in this set with some of the cards. So you might consider that. Super Starter V for Victory is our starter deck of choice, which brings some options for rank 4 plays with Kage Goblinberg. Attack boost through Ego boost. Reinforcements of the Army is a nice card. Some general, like some generic spells and traps like these could be pretty nice. And the Utopia Ray. Duelist Pack Battle City, we have 3 side sets. Wing Dragon Aura Sphere Mode, and Lava Golem is in this as well. So that those are interesting cards to get rid of opponent stuff that you might want. Some ritual cards in here. We had Advanced Ritual Art earlier on in a different set, so you might be able to play with that. Foolish Burial is in here. Jinzo. You could play Jinzo, there's no Jinzo support, but maybe that could be really awesome for you. Malevol Catastrophe, a different way to destroy spells and traps. And a few tunes that you may want to play with, but that's completely up to you. We have Zexo Collection Tin with Volcasaurus and Freezer Dawn, a few Garga support, a decent amount of Photon and Galaxy cards. So you might actually be able to build a Photon or Galaxy deck. There aren't any rank 8 Xyzs outside of Thunder and Dragon, and that requires normal monsters. So you can't really Xyz with them, at least not in rank 8. But there are rank 4 possibilities, so you may be able to do that with something like Galaxy Wizard. And finally, Star Pack Arc 5. Bring you some interesting cards. There's a little bit of X-Saber, a little bit of Concealer, there's a little bit of a lot of things that you see in early on in the Arc 5 anime, which does bring pendulums to as a possibility, because as with Tournament 2, we're playing this tournament in Master Rule 3. Because there's no Link monsters, I put up a vote, do you want to do Master Rule 3 or 4? People voted for 3. And because there's no Link monsters, that isn't affected. But pendulums do exist. And pendulums are definitely weakened in Master Rule 4. And this is the first time in the first tournament where pendulums actually seem like a pretty decent deck. And just with Stargazer, Timegazer, Odd Eyes, it's already possible. And then some Performer Pals you might want to use in this set as well. There's Fusion with Trump, which is Polymerization, there's Ruin Eyes, maybe you can come up with something like that. Constellar Pleiades is possible in the tournament. It's not super easy to summon. Earlier you saw Constellar Algieri and Constellar Cows, that's a possibility, but getting those 2 together might be pretty difficult. One of the custom cards could actually help you out summoning Pleiades if you want to put in the efforts to make that. There's Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon as a strong rank 4. And Wall of Disruption as a pretty darn powerful trap card. 4 custom cards available in this tournament. Quetzalman, It's a level 5 normal. I didn't expect it to have that much use, but maybe if you combine, let's say, some of the normal monster support, you could use this to summon Pleiades. Level Calibration was the card I was referring to earlier. Maybe you summon an Alexandrite Dragon and a Wind-Up Knight. Those are 2 level 4 lights, and with Level Calibration, you boost them up to 5 to make Pleiades. Frost Golem. I'd say the main use of this card is to counter a Volsark, Dolka, or Lagia if your opponent happens to use them. And finally, Return from the Ashes. Somewhat of a warrior returning alive, but then for fire monsters and with only 1500 or less attack. So, most likely you'll be using this when you're playing Evil. Those were a real quick overview of all the cards that were available. If you're interested in this specific tournament or in any of these tournaments in general, maybe you can't join this one, but you want to join the next one, please use the link in the description to join my tournament server. It would be awesome if I see you there. I should also note this is very important. They're not live tournaments, meaning they're not all matches crammed into a space of a few hours. There are 3 days, so 72 hours to play a single match. If we open round 1, there are 72 hours for everyone to play their one single match. Meaning even if you're in completely different time zones with different schedules, you're almost always able to find just at least one moment where you can play. Maybe for one person that's late afternoon, where one person that's still in the morning. If you communicate well, you can find that time. You can play your match. I can verify it. Then we move on to round 2 when everything's finished after those 72 hours. And then once again, you have 3 days, 72 hours to play for round 2, and then that, etc., etc. Only when everyone finishes their match before the start of round 3, then I might start the next round early. But outside of that, 3 days, 72 hours for every round, whether it's round 1 of Swiss, because we're starting with Swiss, and then we'll move into single elimination for the top cut. Also in single elimination top cut, 3 days, 72 hours as a time limit. I hope you're really interested in this tournament and want to join. Please use the link in the description to join there, and I'll give you all the details of the tournament there. I'll welcome you. There's a lot of people currently testing for the tournament, seeing what decks they like, because there's quite a lot of possibilities. I'm really excited for this. I hope to see you there. See you next time. Goodbye.